Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, we are talking about the AMC dividends play, institutions accumulating the 3.57 billion lost on short, and many more in this video. First, we're taking a look at this. AMC has a debt in line with 2016, and until 2019, AMC has always issued a 0.2 dividend every quarter. This debt reflects the acquisitions of Odeon and UCI Cinema, while now that the debt has been restructured, we're in the pre-COVID situation with higher revenues now. Something that we've always been discussing on this channel is of course about the possibility of dividends, and we talked about how a dividend will obviously have a massive effect. Understanding that in the past we used to issue out a 0.2 dividend. Now coming into where we are right now with the billions of shares that have been created for AMC in terms of synthetics, if we were to issue out a 0.2 dividends again, these short sellers will have to pay billions of dollars every single quarter, and potentially even tens of billions of dollars every single quarter to make sure these dividends of course get paid out. And that is something that will eat into the capital. And like we've said, we may not even be seeing the fact that they have to pay the dividend because they may just be scared at the thought of dividends and cover their positions. But we are in the position right now where we are seeing the possibility of AMC issuing out dividends becoming more and more likely. One of the things that was always the biggest obstacle was of course the debt, and now we have that restructured. It comes to the next problem, which is understanding if AMC can have that profitability to a position where they can issue out dividends, and that's something that's also improving. So you can see where right now everything that was previously stopping AMC from issuing out dividends is slowly getting improved, is slowly getting fixed, and that's why we are seeing institutions who also want to accumulate into AMC. Because if we take a look at this right now, you can literally see where they're dumping shares at lows to make price move down and pocket the buys for later. Not a single person in the world would keep selling at lows unless they were shorting or manipulating the price. Where we're obviously seeing, how AMC is being pushed downwards. Now, one thing you can see with AMC is that every time it gets to lower lows, you definitely see it kind of break out beneath that lower low again and seeing the price go even further down. Now, the question to be asked here is understanding when we have a company with all the retail investors not willing to sell, continuously buying, it already doesn't make sense that we're seeing these new lows being made. Now, the only reason why these new lows are being made is because shorts are of course manipulating the price. And the reason why they want to bring the price down is because they want to accumulate AMC at the cheapest price possible. Remember, there are short sellers who want to buy into AMC. There are also institutions who want to buy into AMC. One, for the reason of not getting bankrupt, or for the reason of trying to, of course, cover their positions and just hedge their position. Another, aka the institutions who aren't shorting AMC, who want to buy into AMC because they understand the potential there is, whether it's the dividends plays, whether it's the long-term projection, whether it's the squeeze. There are so many different reasons for why they want to get into AMC, and that's why they want to see the price, of course, go down. You can see here, AMC Theatre's recent shareholder meeting disclosed that retail investors owns 90% of all shares, including ETFs. Institutions owns 40%, short owns 16%. Now, the above numbers don't include naked shorts, ISDA contracts, swaps, Archegos and Credit Suisse legacy short liabilities now held by UBS, which is very important, that we'll be talking about later on. Rehab applications, married options, tokenized securities backed by nothing like those from FTS, Bittrex backed, and GmbH. So this is where we are right now. You can already see just from retail investor ownership and institutional ownership, we are 130%. Now, that's something that shouldn't be possible, but yet it is because of the synthetics, because of the naked shorts that are obviously being made. Now, these are already, inaccurate to an extent because we don't know truly how much shares are out there for AMC. But one thing we can gather from this is from the understanding that the total ownership is over 100%, means that there is a high demand for AMC shares, whether it's from retail investors or whether it's from institutions. And if institutions are showing a massive demand for AMC shares, it means that they want to accumulate. It means that they understand the potential. And that's why you can see when we do see the price go down and we're seeing buys coming in, is because these institutions want to accumulate. Hence why they're trying, and buy at the most discounted prices. Another reason to look at this is understanding, been a while since one of these popped up, under 9 million in volume today as I posted. So earlier in the week, what we saw was a order imbalance for AMC with shares on a buy side, meaning a buy side imbalance. Now, in a time where we're seeing extremely low volume, which is something that we talked about this week on the channel, and we're seeing a buy-side imbalance, it should really highlight what is happening. In times of high volume, we're seeing buy-side imbalance. In times of low volume, and these are times where, when it's low volume, you don't see much FOMO. What people are doing is just kind of showing what they want to do in the long term. And what we're seeing right now is people want to accumulate in no matter when, no matter if it's high volume, no matter if it's low volume. When it's high volume, you could argue that people are buying because they are FOMOing, they don't want to miss out on opportunity. But when it's low volume, when there is no, sudden opportunities right now, when there's no sudden surge in price, and yet people are accumulating and seeing buy-side imbalance, it truly shows that people want to purchase AMC shares. It truly shows that people want to invest in AMC. And so the very fact that we are seeing this should give us a very good indication that retailers are in fact buying and not selling. And if anything, it could even be arguing that the institutions who are accumulating are increasing their accumulations and are not selling their holdings, which further highlights what we've talked about with how good of an opportunity AMC investment is. Now, something that you need to make sure right now is that recently there was this news about America's meme coin, which has the same ticker symbol, $AMC, of course, as the same as AMC FTD. And so I want to bring this to your attention because obviously you shouldn't be confused with this. With the two, you have America's meme coin, AMC, and you have AMC FTD, which is also AMC as well. Now, of course, one is a meme coin, another one is a stock with actual backing. So there is two differences behind that. But I think and I fear is that with these articles, people may actually confuse it and correlate it with AMC Entertainment, and of course have a negative effect, because these two are, of course, two different entities as a whole. And so that's what I want to bring to everyone's attention. And I do think potentially there could be some context behind it of why they want to use it like this and use it to attack AMC. Furthermore, what we have right now is how shorts are finally seeing, kind of what we truly are. So we have institutions accumulating AMC right now. We also have institutions accumulating GME, and they understand, where these two stocks, AMC and GME, are no longer the meme stocks people thought they were back in 2021. These two stocks are stocks that are showing massive improvements and potential. Because what we can see right now is, despite the fact that making these articles still with a negative kind of narrative, how shorting GameStop remains a high risky bet, you can't argue with, the fact that they are talking about the facts that can't be argued, because they talked about here, guided by our orthodox CEO and largest shareholder, the company now boasts a balance sheet fortified with cash and minimal debt. So they are understanding, in terms of the fact that AMC and GME are all experiencing extremely good improvements. They are in a very good place. They're still going to be making articles. Like, bear in mind, I do think they are still going to be making articles where they talk about AMC being the bad bet, GME being the bad bet, being the high risky bet, etc., etc. But one of the facts they can't argue is how well we are, of course, doing. And so, this is something that, again, is in a very odd situation where they try to, of course, and stray people away from it. But they know that at the end of the day, if you do your research, if you do your own due diligence, you will understand how good of an investment opportunity this is. As always, this is ever financial advice, so do take us to go of salt. Make sure you do your own due diligence and research. Furthermore, what we have right now is going on with what we said in terms of the GME. You can see, so earlier this week, during after hours, someone loaded $1 million worth of GME shares, and shortly after, a couple of $250,000 order. Now, it is rumored that this could possibly be Roaring Kitty sighting in while the prices are still cheap. So what we are seeing is, of course, people are still trying to, every time they see a discounted price of GME, they're still trying to purchase in. Now, of course, this could be Roaring Kitty. No one knows for sure. And if it is, you can definitely understand the effect he will obviously have if he were to come out onto Twitter again. But the very fact that if he is accumulating into GME, it shows that he obviously still has an extremely optimistic outlook for this in the future, and understanding, that will, of course, have a massive impact towards the stocks. Furthermore, it's seeing back in June 2022, Wedbush posted a $3.57 billion loss on open short contracts, and they had another $2.72 billion worth of securities borrowed as of April 30th, 2024. So this is what we're looking at for the short sellers right now. We can see that they're clearly not in a good position. Wedbush, someone who's obviously spoofs AMC, someone who obviously is related with shorting AMC, they are in a massive loss position on open short contracts to the point where they open up more securities borrowed. And all of this kind of correlates to what we're saying. Every short sellers who are involved with AMC are in an extremely bad position, wherever they're in massive losses, wherever they are kind of losing a drastic amount of money. You can even see here, UBS could shed a further 18,000 jobs by the end of 2026 to meet its post-Credit Suisse takeover cost-saving target. These are what we are looking at for short sellers right now. Not a good position for any of these guys, and that's why they are panicking. And that's why, going back to what we talked about at the start, if we were to see a dividend play, these guys will be severely in trouble. You guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.